Today is a beautiful March 18th, 2022. You know where this is? Grand Central Terminal. I'm going to take a ride on Metro North train 449 up to Poughkeepsie today. That's Metro North's version of the 20th Century Limited. Indeed, it runs over the route of the 20th Century Limited part of the way. After Harlem 125, it makes Beacon the first stop. That's like 58 miles away from here. Beacon, New Hamburg, and Poughkeepsie. What a beautiful day to ride along the Hudson. Departs at 5:08. I'll tell you, when you think about John F. Kennedy, his wife, Jackie, who later became Jackie Onassis, many people owe her a huge debt, as she was part of a restoration committee in New York City that saved this building from being torn down. Unfortunately, Penn Station in New York didn't have the same fate. Instead, they built that toilet over the station. Madison Square Garden. Right in the center of the waiting room is the information booth. It had been closed for a little while, but it's back in business. And these Metro North staffers are providing information to customers and helping them out. Dedication. Popular destination in New York City has always been this information booth with the famous clocks above it. Most of the time, if you wanted to meet somebody, Grand Central, you'd say, "Meet me under the clocks." And on track 34, here's 849's equipment. Makes Harlem 125, Beacon, New Hamburg, and Poughkeepsie. And here's our engine, V32 ACDM 205. All right, getting ready to pull out of Grand Central for Poughkeepsie. Right next door on track 35, we got a New Haven engine. Okay, it's 5:09 p.m. We're pulling out. There's train 4849 over there. He's going to follow us to Poughkeepsie. 3 minutes from now. He'll leave at 5:11. Out of here at 5:08. I'll start recording when we get out of the tunnel. You can hear that roar in the background. We're pacing another diesel. On the right side of our train, we're pacing train 1848 for Danbury. He's got his diesel engines on. Here we are, coming out of the tunnel. Okay, we're on the Park Avenue Viaduct now. And we're getting ahead of the Danbury train. We're on track 1. It's 3124, right to left. Bridge that we passed under, that's where the old NK Tower used to be. I think that's CP3. We'll be slowing down to stop at Harlem 125. This is probably the busiest piece of passenger railroad in the country. 225. Our last stop before Beacon, some 54 miles away.
Hudson Line Express train to Poughkeepsie. The train may stop at Beacon, New Hamburg, and Poughkeepsie only. Big train on Peak
Seeing M7A here, right alongside of us on track 3 is 1848 for Danbury. He's got P32, number 225. I think that was the engine that was involved in that Spite and Dival incident a few years ago. Diesel race here, got 1848 and us pulling out at the same time.
You have all tickets available to us and all these tickets activated. Beacon.
There it is. Lots of trains. We're rubbing shoulders with 1848, but not for too much longer. Crossing over the Harlem River Bridge. Down below, next to the river there, that's a freight road that accesses Oaks Point Yard in the Bronx, primarily used by CSX. Now right here, this spot right here approximately is where the old 138th Street station used to be, long gone. Going through Mont Junction, where we leave the Harlem line. Ooh, it's a little rough through here. Diesel engine on now. And this is 153rd Street, Yankee Stadium Station. This place will be busy in about a month. For a few miles, we'll be running along the Harlem River. It's a little Metro North facility here. Bridge Yard. place to be on a day like this. 70-something degrees here today. Boy, this engineer likes to blow the horn. Great. A man after my own heart. I'm assuming it's a man.
I'm on the train.
It's a nice little park over here.
Yeah.
Station. Yeah, the Harlem River's right with us. Actually, the river was here first, so we were right with the river. Not the other way around. Couldn't make that station out. Okay, the Harlem River starts curving more to the left, and consequently the railroad goes with it.
I was like, did you just start or something?
Tell you the next station we pass is Marble Hill. Before we get to that station, we pass under the New York City subway. The number 1 train goes over this bridge. We're starting to curve due west for a little while. But take it easy through here. A lot of curves. Marble Hill Station.
But the good thing.
This train, as far as Hudson Line trains on Metro North go, this is the cream of the crop. It's the fastest. Super Express. Yeah, look at that sun. It's a beautiful day today. In contrast to the soggy, dreary, cold day it was yesterday, St. Patrick's Day parade was like in the 40s, around 50. March is a strange month. You're going through a cut. Bridge, that's the Henry Hudson Parkway up there. And that bridge you see in the background is Amtrak's line out of Penn Station. And this is Spuyten Station. And shortly we'll be making a right-hand turn, a very sharp right-hand turn, and be paralleling the Hudson River the rest of the way. the other side. CP12. From here northward up to Croton Harmon, it's a 4-track main. Engineer should be able to reach back and show us stuff here. Tugboat and a barge coming up. This is the Riverdale Station. It's the last station in the Bronx. Tug and a barge. Yeah, he's pacing us, but I think he's going to lose the race. M7As, likely out of Croton Harmon. We're in Westchester now. This is Ludlow. City of Yonkers now. Used to be the home of the Otis Elevator Company. I don't know if they're still in business. Also, Kawasaki has a plant where they put together the M9s for the Long Island Railroad. Here's Garrison Station. lots of delays on this line because an Amtrak train struck a pedestrian in Peekskill. Years ago, back in Penn Central days, they used to terminate MU trains here. Odd place to terminate them. Yonkers would have made more sense. Got a lot of nice riverside parks. The Hudson line is one of the more superb commuter railroad lines in the United States. Maybe the most superb. Although the Port Jervis line is pretty scenic, but with the river splendor, you just can't beat this. This Hudson line of Metro North very much lives up to that name. I mean, you're just literally on top of the river here. Milepost 17.8, measured from Grand Central. The station is Greystone. Yeah, we're traversing the old route of the old New York Central. New York Central. That was CP19 we thumped over. '20th Century Limited used to depart out of Grand Central. I think it left at 6 p.m. Skirt along the river here, and people be sitting in the diner having a nice meal. There's an Amtrak train heading for Penn Station, New York. Having a nice, superb meal, great food, great view. Wow, this engineer's really laying on the horn. And right here, I think we passed the Croton local. The conductor Paul works. I met him in Grand Central. He works on Croton local that leaves just before 5 out of Grand Central. Station building also houses a restaurant. Nice park here, beautiful park. Hurricane Ida back in the summer washed out the tracks here very badly, and trains had to run left-handed because the 3-and-1 number 2 was also affected. They had to run on track 4 quite a bit, but they just recently finally fixed it. All 4 tracks are done. The bridge has been replaced and it's all spick and span now. They got hit really hard up here with Ida, with a lot of damage. The station is Ardsley on Hudson. likes of famous trains like the 20th Century Limited, Commodore Vanderbilt, Pacemaker, secondary train called the Chicagoan. Used to see the Montreal Limiteds and the Laurentians going up to Montreal with the D&H, the Empire State Express, the Cleveland Limited overnight train to Cleveland, and then the Canadian trains to Detroit, such as the Detroiter and the Wolverine, and the Southwestern Limited to St. Louis, and the Ohio State Limited to Cincinnati. Here, the bridge you see in the distance is the new Tappan Zee Bridge. It's a beautiful bridge, much wider. At night it's all lit up. South of Tarrytown. This area is made famous in the legend of Sleepy Hollow. Tarrytown. Years ago there used to be a auto parts plant here that was served by Conrail. Riverside development going on here. Well, right now we have been running on track number 1, the express track. Pretty soon you'll see the station at Phillips Manor, and you'll see the monument of a bald eagle. Here it is, Phillips Manor. It's a beautiful sight. It's one of the most scenic spots on the Hudson line right here. Following the river bends. Passing another park along the river, beautiful park, and past the station of Scarborough, one of the more popular rail fanning spots on the Hudson line. I mean, it's just the railroad and then boom, the river. Past an old signal bridge. that train. If you like locomotive-powered trains on Metro North, the Hudson line is loaded with them between Metro North and Amtrak trains. All right, that strip of land you see out there, that's Croton Point. We're going to be coming towards the New York Central famous station of, well, years ago it was called Harlem. They used to change locomotives on all the long distance trains there, but today it's still important, but it's called Croton Harlem. Here Metro North has a major shop complex, storage yard. Both Metro North and Amtrak trains stop at Croton Harlem, but this train will not be stopping. This is Red Ball Express, Metro North style. CP33. The Croton Harlem Yard and Shop Complex here. See what kind of interesting stuff is laying around. See a lot of P32s, some push-pull cars. There's the shop building back there. All the way over on 4. Croton Harlem has 3 platforms. I see some M3s over there. There's more of them. A lot of them. Metro North still runs a pretty decent fleet of M3s. Well, they call them M3As. In fact, on March 27th, they're having a schedule change and they're going to be running practically full service. On Monday, March 21st, the Long Island Railroad is going to have a schedule change where they'll be having practically full service. And there's talk about them putting their M3s back on the rails again. This is CP35. It's the old CD tower. Conrail Yard. Not much left of it. This area we're going through is Osceola, New York. This was a famous railfan photography location on the New York Central. Okay, we have 3 tracks to CP39 in Peekskill. We're about to pass through Osceola Tunnel. Beautiful evening. Okay, where this overpass is, that was the former site of Kruger's Station, long gone. Cortland Station. This station was built to replace the Krugers and the Montrose Station. Montrose is further up a little ways. Montrose was right about here. railroad crossing. There aren't many crossings on the Hudson line, just a handful. Peekskill, we're about to enter the most scenic part of the Hudson line. Lots of mountains on both sides. Here's the Riverfront Park in Peekskill. This is a very popular place for hikers, picnickers, fishermen. Peekskill Station. Riverfront Park, you get some great views of the railroad. You can see trains coming southbound for quite a few minutes. This area right here is Roahook. Lots of photographs taken here. Unfortunately, the sun is in my face, but if you want to see the best views, you got to sit on this side of the train. The narrowest part of the river. See on the opposite side of the river, that's Bear Mountain. There's a state park there with the same name, Bear Mountain State Park. You can drive right up to the top. tunnel that goes under the Bear Mountain Bridge. There it is. And from here up, all the way to Poughkeepsie, we'll be pretty much running parallel to the CSX River line. That's on the opposite side of the river. It's a former Conrail, former New York Central. Former New York Central West Shore route. The old New York West Shore in Buffalo. Believe it or not, that used to be a Pennsylvania Railroad interest at one time. But Commodore Vanderbilt wasn't happy about the Pennsy encroaching on his beloved New York Central. So it started a sort of a proxy fight. He threatened to build his own railroad in Pennsylvania to compete with the Pennsylvania Railroad. Finally, a truce was reached, and he promised not to build the railroad in Pennsylvania. Just past Manitou Station. It's a low-level platform. It's used by hikers mostly, but there is a rush hour train that stops there, one each way. And we passed the southbound Amtrak. As I was saying, a truce was reached, and Vanderbilt promised not to build the South Pennsylvania Railroad to compete with the Pennsy, providing that he could acquire the West Shore route. So now I think Vanderbilt got the better end of the deal. He acquired more real estate. The Pennsy lost. Gets better and better. Some of the highest mountains on this line will be seen north of Garrison and north of Cold Spring. Cold Spring is around milepost 53. This was the stomping ground of New York Central Hudson's, Mohawks, and Niagara steam locomotives. And lightning-striped E-units with their passenger trains. Milepost 49.2. On the opposite side of the river here, you can see the buildings. That's West Point. This is Garrison Station. Cortland Station at Garrison. That was a scene in a Broadway musical, Hello, Dolly. There's a tunnel, but we won't be going through one. In that show, Hello, Dolly, they made that station, it was made up to look like Yonkers. Okay, milepost 50.4. Now we're getting into the high country here. Area here, this piece of land, it's government land, and it's posted. They definitely don't want anybody walking around in here. There's the access road to this area. Look at the mountains. This is gorgeous through here. And CSX's river line is right on the opposite side, hugging the river like us. Station. It's a delightful town. It's a nice walkway to a promenade along the river. Get a great view of the mountains. On the opposite side, we passed it already, is the old Cold Spring Depot. It's a nice restaurant. Warm weather, you can sit outside on a patio and eat some good food and enjoy the trains. That mountain you see dead ahead, that's Storm King Mountain. I think New York State Highway 218, I think it is, drives along that mountain. Right up on top, you can pull over and look down and get a great view. Oh, I see a southbound freight train on the other side. You can see the road and the ledge, and you can see some freight cars on the freight there. And we're about to pass under Breakneck Ridge and Breakneck Tunnel there. Fishermen hang out here. Okay, this strip of land coming up out on the river, it's an island. It's a castle. That's Bannerman's Castle. Here it is. Right around here is a Metro North stop for hikers, Breakneck Ridge. And he's slowing down. He might be catching up to train 847. Opposite side of the river is Newburgh. Milepost 56.55. 614. Minutes to go 56 miles. Not bad for a commuter train. Well, what a commuter train this is. Shortly we'll be making our first stop at Beacon. Beacon is right across the Hudson from Newburgh. That bridge that we passed under is the old connector that heads east to Danbury. It actually goes by Brewster, Danbury. Metro North owned that track for a while, but they sold it. A good access point to get equipment between the Hudson line and the New Haven line. Now we're going over.
Beacon Station, watch your step, Beacon.
Coming into Beacon. I believe from Harlem 125 to Beacon is the longest non-stop run on Metro North. There is a non-stop run, I think, on rush hours that goes from Harlem to Bridgeport on the New Haven, but that's not quite as far as Beacon. Nice park here. Newburgh on the other side. Okay, Beacon is around milepost 58, roughly. Next stop is New Hamburg. It's around milepost 64. There used to be a station between here and New Hamburg called Chelsea. That's long gone. Okay, the bridge you see there, that's the Interstate 84 bridge. Over there is downtown Newburgh. Gorgeous evening. Yeah, Interstate 84, if you take it west, it'll take you to Scranton, Pennsylvania. If you take it east, it'll take you northeast of Hartford, past Sturbridge, Massachusetts, and ends at the Massachusetts Turnpike. CSX is still with us over there. Towns on that side of the river, places like Marlborough, Milton. Supposedly they're good places to rail fan. Zipping right along here. I'm not sure why they switched tracks. I think it's 1 and 2. I think we're on number 2. Road crossing. Right around here, around this bend of the river, you should be able to just make out the Mid-Hudson Bridge. Crosses the Hudson out of Poughkeepsie. That railroad crossing back there was Chelsea. Arriving New Hamburg.
Hamburg.
Okay, our next and final stop, Poughkeepsie, milepost 72 roughly. There's a high bridge here at New Hamburg. Soars over the tracks. It's right around here somewhere. Here it is. Yeah, it's 6:27 p.m. It's still March, but it's nice to have these late sunsets now. A few weeks ago, this trip wouldn't have been possible in daylight. Got a chance to see the scenic splendor of the Hudson line on Metro North. He's due into Poughkeepsie at 6:40 on the schedule, but he's doing very well on time. They can operate up to 3 minutes early at the stops, but the schedule between New Hamburg and Poughkeepsie's got a lot of extra padding in it. To the engineer for providing a safe, fast ride. It's like a cement factory. Tilcon. Ugh, dusty. Yeah, the river's fairly narrow here too. CS6 is right on the edge over there. 69.7. Just a little over a couple of miles away to Poughkeepsie now. As dusk is setting in. Really laying on the horn. That's what I like to hear. None of these little wimpish tweets. You can see the Hudson Bridge, suspension bridge. Poughkeepsie's a great place to go. It's got some hiking trails. You've got the walkway over the Hudson, which is an old New Haven Railroad bridge. It's the old Maybrook line. It's a hiking trail. Both sides, they're rail trails. One on the west side goes all the way to New Paltz. There's a hiking trail that goes across the suspension bridge too. And Poughkeepsie's got some great restaurants. I know it had the Ice House. Mahoney's Irish Restaurant is right across the street from the station, and a host of others. And now you get a good view of the Mid-Hudson Bridge. There's another tug and is shoving a barge southward. Fancy catering hall here. All right, he's coming in. Poughkeepsie, the home of the Smith Brothers Cough Drops. Yes, indeed. The bridge in the background is the walkway over the Hudson, the old New Haven Railroad Bridge. Great ride. Outstanding ride. I got 6:34. We're 6 minutes ahead of time. Great run. Okay, he's off the platform. There's a great view of the walkway over the Hudson. Get one hell of a view from up there. Poughkeepsie. It's also an Amtrak stop and a Metro North terminal. Here's our engineer. Hey, I didn't know you were running this train. Man, oh man, what a surprise.
Well, I hope it wasn't too rough for you.
That was a great ride. Why did they switch you over there?
Our leader was slow.
Oh,
So,
did you run around them?
Yeah, I'd like to chat, but we got to get out in front of this local.
I understand. Thanks again.
I'll talk to you later.
Take care. Great engineer. Metro North is blessed to have him. Well, he's going to deadhead back to Croton Harmon. Doing his brake test.
We're at a race against time. The trick is to get out in front of this local.
He leaves at 6:50, right?
Yeah, but if we don't get out of here by 42, 43, they're not gonna let us out.
Oh, you get screwed that way.
Yep.
Oh, something's pulling out over there. What is that?
That's the guy that we followed coming up.
Oh.
We're deadhead down to the city.
Oh. A lot of deadheads.
Oh, yeah.
No, that was a great. I got the whole ride, every
Yeah.
bit of it, except the
Nice and
tunnel.
smooth.
Got some. You passed. What's his name? Paul at
Yeah, early today.
a little earlier. He was a little late, or
Hastings.
yeah. Were you late or early? Or was he late?
I think it was, I was a little early.
Oh.
And
Well,
then you got to look for Sylvia and Gabriella at Ossining. They were at the top of their car waving as we went by.
on this side?
Yeah.
Oh. I might have gotten them.
All right, let me get out of here.
All right. Have a good trip.
Take care.
Thanks again, buddy. Here it goes. Adios. Heading to Croton Harmon. Train ahead of us, 847, left ahead of him. He's dead heading back to New York. Busy line. Well, I had a nice dinner. It's gotten dark, but it's very pleasant. See 226 here. Gonna go out on a Grand Central train shortly. Should have the Amtrak's Lakeshore Limited, Chicago to New York. He's about 2.5 hours late. Passing through here shortly. Train arrived from Grand Central just now. He's heading into the yard. Those lights you see above him, those are the lights on the walkway over the Hudson. Highly recommend visiting that walkway. It's a great view. Poughkeepsie has lots of virtues you wouldn't think it had. There's the Lakeshore, number 48. He should be coming through here. He doesn't stop. You see the name of that car there? That's owned by the Connecticut Department of Transportation. The Connecticut Yankee? That was a famous New York to Springfield express train on the New Haven. At deluxe accommodations, parlor cars, dining cars, the works. I can hear CSX on the other side of the river. Yeah, check the Amtrak app. He actually already passed the Lakeshore Limited. Just missed him. Yeah, we got a train arriving at 8 o'clock. Yeah, Poughkeepsie's a busy place. Lots of Metro North and Amtrak trains here. going to be taking Amtrak 64 back to New York so I can connect better with the Long Island. Train 64, the old Maple Leaf, which used to come from Toronto, now only from Niagara Falls. I hope soon they start running into Canada again. It's ridiculous. It's too damn long. Happily, starting April 1st, Americans can travel to Canada without getting a COVID test beforehand. But they have to be fully vaccinated. It has to be shown on an Arrive Canada app. Well, hopefully that'll be the case. I want to go up there in the fall, up to Toronto. Well, other than riding on trains through here, I've never been to Poughkeepsie at night. Over there, you're looking at the Mid-Hudson Suspension Bridge across the Hudson. Looks nice with the blue lights. And that building over there where the green lights are hanging is Mahoney's Irish Pub. You couldn't ask for better convenience from the train station to get a nice meal. This set of equipment that just arrived. Engineers on the cab car doing a brake test. He may be deadheading back to Harlem or New York. Look at 8:12. Here comes train 64 now. Niagara Falls, New York to New York Penn Station. Be a bit faster than riding the Grand Central, and I can connect with the Long Island Railroad, although by the end of the year I'll be able to go to Grand Central and connect with the Long Island Railroad. But not just yet.